In today's session, we are going to discuss about the climate change reporting, essential reporting for mass media. Climate change is impacting human lives and health in a variety of ways. It threatens the essential ingredients of good health: clean air, safe drinking water, nutritious food supply, and safe shelter, and has the potential to undermine decades of progress in global health. Between 2030 and 2050, climate change is expected to cause approximately 250,000 additional deaths per year from malnutrition, malaria, diarrhea, and heat stress alone across the globe. The direct damage costs to health are estimated to be between US $2 to 4 billion per year by 2030. Areas with weak health infrastructure, mostly in developing countries, will be the least able to cope without assistance to prepare and respond. Greenhouse gas emissions that result from extraction and burning of fossil fuel are major contribution to both climate change and air pollution. Many policies and individual measures such as transport, food, energy use choice have the potential to reduce greenhouse gas emission and produce major health co-benefit, particularly by abating air pollution. Climate change essential reporting. Why? For anyone entering the field of journalism or communication, understanding how to report on climate change is not just another beat. It is about preparing to tackle the defining story of our era. Understanding the science, your reporting foundation. Before you can report on climate change, you need to grasp its scientific bedrock. This is not about becoming a climate scientist, but about understanding the core concept and credible sources. The global warming phenomena. Climate change refers to significant long-term shift in global weather patterns and temperature. Right? This long-term shift may be some these time period of 20 years or 40 years or more than that. While Earth climate naturally changes over millennia, the rapid warming we are seeing now is different. Since the late 19th century, the planet's average surface temperature has climbed up roughly 1.2 degrees Celsius. Most of this warming has happened in just last 50 years. So, when we are talking about the climate change or climate, we are talking about the last 50 years phenomena, which our weather scientists are observing and presenting their papers and findings. So, we have to read the findings. Accordingly, we have to report, we have to prepare our audience to be careful, to be ready to combat climate change towards the climate mitigation activities. So, the greenhouse effect simplified. Imagine Earth warning a thin natural blanket of gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. This blanket traps some of the sun's heat, keeping our planet warm enough for life. That's the natural greenhouse effect. You must know the definition clearly in simple terms when you are going to report climate change for mass media. The human connection. Since the Industrial Revolution, we have been burning vast amount of fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas for power, transport and industry. This releases huge amount of these greenhouse gases, making the blanket thicker. Now, too much heat gets trapped, and this is the main cause of global warming. Our international agency, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, has clearly mentioned in their reports that 95% human activities are involved in global warming. So, we have to check our activities, whether it is related to gaseous emission, pollution, our usage of AC or refrigerator or vehicles, or related to workshop or any other source of pollution. So, this is the pictorial presentation of climate change. You can observe the variety of incidents or related sub things we can say, which can be covered in your reporting aspect. This is the climate change, a global threat. So, key signs of a changing climate, undeniable indicators that may be encouraged in the reporting. Rising temperature, direct measurement from around the world show a consistent upward trend. Think about how many hottest year on record headlines you have already seen. Melting ice, glaciers are shrinking, major ice sheets like Greenland and Antarctica are losing mass, and Arctic sea ice is rapidly declining. This has huge implications for sea levels and ecosystems. Sea level rise, an ocean warm, they expand and melting ice adds more water. This causes global sea levels to creep up, threatening coastal communities and increasing the impact of storm surges. Ocean acidification. Ocean absorbs a lot of our excess carbon dioxide, but this makes them more acidic. This can harm marine life, especially creatures with shells or skeletons like corals and shellfish. Extreme weather. While individual weather events are not caused by climate change, the science tells us it's making many of them more frequent and intense. This means more severe heat waves, heavier rainfall leading to floods, longer droughts and stronger cyclones. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC), world's most trusted source for climate science, and what the IPCC does? It's a United Nations body established in 1988. Instead of doing new research, the IPCC reviews and summarizes the latest climate sciences from thousands of peer-reviewed papers worldwide. These reports are put together by thousands of scientists and then approved by 195 members 95 member governments. This means their findings represent a global scientific consensus. As I already mentioned that 95% human activities are involved in global warming, behind the global warming, said by the IPCC reports, mentioned in the IPCC reports. The gold standard, why it matters? When you are reporting on climate change, IPCC assessment reports ARs are your most reliable and comprehensive source. Always refer to them for accurate data and projections. Fighting misinformation. If someone tries to tell you climate change is not real or is not caused by humans, you can confidently cite the IPCC's consensus as your evidence. It's a powerful tool against disinformation. Yes, I already discussed in some sessions that there are two schools of thoughts on any issues, and it may make the issue controversial, and there is no controversy in the issue like climate change. But a school of thought, they are saying that no human activities are involved in climate change or global warming. This is a time bound phenomena and it must be happening, it must happen. So, you have to fight the misinformation, and they have no research findings on that, what they are saying. So, informing policy. The IPCC's findings directly influence global climate negotiations like the annual COPs or Conference of the Parties and national policies. Understanding the IPCC helps to understand the broader political landscape of climate action. Effective climate reporting principles and practices. Core principle for reporting on sensitive topics applied to climate change. These guidelines are crucial for complex, impactful stories. Lead with evidence based on your stories firmly on the scientific fact and data. Don't just report what someone says about climate change, report what the science says. What are the what you have read in research papers, what findings you have collected, what interviews you have recorded with scientists. Report that. Not he said something or she said something. Avoid that. Inform, don't sensationalize. Use clear, measured language. While the topic is urgent, avoid exaggerated claims or doom and gloom that can make audiences switch off. Focus on facts and their implications, and it is required address misinformation head on. Be prepared to gently but firmly correct false narrative with factual counter argument without giving them undue attention. For example, while some claim wildfires are natural, scientists confirm that climate change is increasing their intensity and frequency by creating hotter, drier conditions, right? Then you can balance your report in the scientific weights or scientific findings. Humanize the story. Climate change is not abstract data. It affects people, show its human impact by telling stories about individuals, family and communities impacted by floods, droughts, heat waves or displacement. This makes the issue relatable. Offer solution and agency. It's vital to report on the problems, but also highlight solutions, showcase ongoing effort, innovative technologies and successful adaptation strategies. This gives your audience a sense of hope and shows that action is possible. Diverse perspective, no false balance. Talk to direct stakeholders, scientists, policymakers, affected communities, farmers, business leaders. However, be careful not to give equal weight to scientifically proven fact and unsubstantiated claims. On issues like human caused climate change, there is not isn't a two-sided equally valid argument. Localize the story, make global climate change relevant to your audience. How does it affect Delhi or your specific city region? Why are the specific local impact and what solutions are being tried there? So, science specific consideration for climate change stories. First is impact. So, sea level rise. How might a rising sea threaten Mumbai, Chennai or Kolkata's infrastructure and population? You have to check with scientists with their research findings. Extreme weather. Report on how longer heat waves are affecting people in Delhi, how changing monsoon patterns cause floods in Assam or droughts in Maharashtra. Then, agriculture point of view, how are altered rainfalls or higher temperature affecting crop yield and farmers' livelihood in specific regions. Public health, explore the rise of heat related illness, vector borne diseases like dengue and shifting its range, and how air pollution is exacerbated by climate factors. Mitigation or reducing emissions, renewable energy transition, report on India's push for solar and wind power, new battery technologies and the challenges and successes of transitioning away from fossil fuels. Energy efficiency, look into the innovation in building design, industry and transport that reduce energy consumption. And forestry, how are forestation and reforestation effort helping absorb carbon? What about the role of existing forest? So, energy, forestry and adaptation, adjusting to impact, resilient infrastructure, feature project building structures that can widespread extreme weather like improved flood defenses or stronger building in cyclone prone areas. Early warning system, how are weather forecasting and early warning system saving lives and property during extreme events? And you have to check climate smart agriculture, report on farmers adopting new technologies or crop varieties that can better withstand droughts or floods. A lot of scientists are doing research, very interesting research. Just for example, I am giving you that wild relatives of your crops like rice, and wheat, maize, they are correcting genes from the wild varieties that have produced in some jungles, and they transferring that wild variety genes to your agriculture field to develop a climate resilient, smart crops, right? And that kind of crops can fight climate change aspects. So, that kind of interesting research are going on in our Indian Council of Agriculture research labs and across the globe in various universities and labs. So, key Indian international climate bodies, to where to contact to collect the data, to whom to contact to collect the content. And first and best is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, MOEFCC, Government of India. This is the central government main body of the environmental and climate policy in India. Familiarize yourself with the National Action Plan for Climate Change, NAPCC, which outlines India's domestic climate strategy through 8 key missions like the National Solar Mission or National Water Mission. These are great sources of specific story ideas. Understand India's national determined contribution, NDCs, under the Paris Agreement. These are the India's specific pledges to reduce emission intensely and boost renewable energy. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, and Paris Agreement. UNFCCC is the international treaty that sets the stage for global climate action. Conferences of parties, COPs, are the annual global meetings where nations negotiate and agree to climate policies. You will often be reporting on these major summits. The Paris Agreement is a landmark international treaty where nearly all countries committed to limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius. It's the cornerstone of the global climate efforts. So, visual storytelling is the key. For television, high quality graphics you need good visuals. Use clear, simple graphs to show temperature trends, carbon dioxide level or renewable energy growth. Simple animation can explain complex ideas, give the greenhouse effect or how a heat wave forms. Before and after satellite images are powerful for showing changes like glacial melt, deforestation or drought impact. You can collect the some images of some 25 years or 50 years before, and you can collect the images of the current images, present time images, and you can give both the images to just to showcase the difference of the climate change, how they are melting, how they are declining. So, compelling video and imagery show footage of real climate impact, floods, heat wave effect on daily life, and past farmland or receding coastlines. Balance this with visual of solutions, footage of large solar farms, wind turbines, community-led reforestation or innovative water conservation projects. Include short video clips, maybe some 10-20 seconds, of expert or affected people, victims speaking. These personal voices, personal touch, add immense much power to your visual, to your television story. Minimal on-screen text. Keep any text on the screen brief, impactful and easy to read. Use keywords or short phrases to reinforce what you are saying, not to repeat it. Imagine your audience. Clear conversational language. Speak directly to your audience. Avoid overlay formal or academic language. Use analogies to make complex ideas simple. For example, think of Earth's atmosphere like a strong hook. Start with something compelling, a surprising statistic, a relatable local example like Delhi's recent heat waves on July 24-25 or a thought-provoking questions. Logical flows. You structure your lecture clearly. Introduce the problem, explain the science, show the impact, then discuss solution. Use on-screen headings to guide viewers. Vary your pace and tone. Shift your tone when discussing serious impacts versus hopeful solutions. Use pauses for emphasis. The global warming phenomena. Climate change refers to significant local term shifts in global weather patterns and temperatures. While Earth's climate naturally changes over millennia, the rapid warming we are seeing now is different. Since the late 19th century, the planet's average surface temperature had climbed by roughly 1.2 degrees Celsius. Most of this warming has happened in just last 50 years. The imagery, Earth warming a thin natural blanket of gases, and we have already discussed the greenhouse effect and human connections also. So, in this climate change session, what we are trying to discuss, that lot of misconception, lot of that kind of theories which are not correct, because lot of people are saying that climate change and glaciers are melting because of the age factor, because of the they have set age. Everything in this globe has a set age, and they are melting, they are dying. So this is not the only factor. This may be the factor. So you have to read the research paper, you have to talk to the audience, you have to watch the international efforts in various documentaries, you have to attend various film festivals where you can check the reality. So then you will find because what IPCC is doing, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they are doing hundreds and thousands of research papers they are reading, and based out of the research papers findings, they are presenting their reports. And their opposite parties, which are they are saying no, IPCC is not doing the correct thing, and we are correct, and we are saying that our glaciers and are melting because of the aging process, and seas will rise. So these kind of schools of thoughts are there. So you must be careful while reporting these kind of international issues, and you must follow your Indian sources, your ministry, your department, whatever they are doing, your weather forecasting scientist. Lot of issues are being done by our government, and one of the effort is Mission Mausam. Recently, our Prime Minister has launched Mission Mausam with the help of our Ministry of Weather and Forecasting, and Ministry of Earth Sciences. And what is Mission Mausam? What is the core of the Mission Mausam? एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है देश में कि हमारे जब हम मौसम का पूर्वानुमान देते हैं, तो हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज वो पूर्वानुमान दिया जाता है कि आज लखनऊ में बारिश होगी और कल दिल्ली में बारिश होगी, परसों गुड़गांव में बारिश होगी, लेकिन दिल्ली के पूरे एरिया में बारिश नहीं होती। कोई भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हमारा जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, बहुत सारा गांव हैं, विलेजेस हैं, कस्बे हैं, ब्लॉक लेवल पे जगह हैं। अब एक किसान को पता चल गया कि वो दिल्ली में बारिश होने की संभावना है, तो उसने पूरी तैयारी कर ली, लेकिन बारिश नहीं हुई, क्योंकि दिल्ली में बारिश हुई और आधी दिल्ली में बारिश नहीं हुई। अब इस मिशन मौसम में एक बहुत खास जो तैयारी की गई है, वो क्या तैयारी की गई है कि आपका जो दायरा है 5 किलोमीटर का, उसके हिसाब से जो हमारा साइंटिस्ट है वो मौसम का पूर्वानुमान देगा। तो साइंटिस्ट आर गिविंग द weather prediction as per the distance of 5 to 10 kilometers range. So a villager or a farmer of that particular village will be able to know that in my village today जो है वो आज बारिश होने जा रही है। सो इस तरह का प्रेडिक्शन बहुत ज़रूरी था। इसमें बहुत सारे हमारे एडवांस इंस्ट्रूमेंट लगाए गए हैं इस मिशन मौसम के लिए, और बहुत सारे हमें अवेयरनेस की ज़रूरत है। बहुत सारे जो हमारा एक इस तरह का हम कैंपेन चला सकते हैं थ्रू आवर क्लाइमेट चेंज रिपोर्टिंग। जो हमारे लोग हैं वो कचरे को कम से कम जो है प्रोड्यूस करें, कचरा कम पैदा करें, पॉलीथीन जैसे जो चीज़ें हैं उसको हम रीयूज़ और रिसाइकिल करें। अगर हम पॉलीथीन को कचरे में फेंकते हैं और उसको अगर जलाया भी जाता है, और अगर नहीं भी जलाया जाता तो भी वो घातक है हमारे मिट्टी के लिए और पानी के लिए, और अगर उसको जलाया जाता है तो वो सीधे क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन्स इमिट करता है, जो हमारे पोल्यूशन का पार्ट बनते हैं और हमारे फेफड़ों को ख़त्म करते हैं। तो एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है पराली को जलाना, प्लास्टिक या कचरे को जलाना, जो सीधे डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट करता है हमारे क्लाइमेट को। और इसके अलावा जो हमारा वेहिकुलर पोल्यूशन है, जो हमारे सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकुलेट मैटर हैं 2.5 जो माइक्रॉन्स में जिनका आकार होता है, जिनको हम अपनी आंखों से देख नहीं सकते, वो हमको अफेक्ट कर रहे हैं। तो उसके लिए अभी एक बहुत शानदार रिसर्च हुई है आईआईटी कानपुर में। आईआईटी कानपुर साइंटिस्ट मेड वन इनोवेशन बेस्ड ऑन एआई टू चेक द पोल्यूशन टू हेल्प द क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड व्हाट दे आर डूइंग। उस इंस्ट्रूमेंट में जो आईआईटी कानपुर ने अभी हाल ही में बनाया है, बेस्ड ऑन एआई, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, उस मशीन को वो शहरों में लगाएंगे और हमारी अथॉरिटीज़ को, हमारे पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड को, हमारे वेदर फोरकास्टिंग डिपार्टमेंट में ये पता चलेगा। मान लीजिए अगर वो दिल्ली में लगाते हैं डिवाइस, तो दिल्ली में इस एरिया में पोल्यूशन ज़्यादा हो रहा है, उसका कारण यहाँ से गुजरते हुए वाहन हैं। तो क्या वहाँ हमें ऑड इवन करना है, अपने वाहनों को ऑड इवन तरीके से चलाना है, जो उसकी नंबर प्लेट नंबर के हिसाब से, या हमको वहाँ पानी का छिड़काव करना है, या हमको उस एरिया में कुछ डाइवर्जन करना है ट्रैफिक को कम करने के लिए। इस एरिया में बहुत ज़्यादा धुआं आ रहा है, ये रिपोर्ट हुआ है, एआई ने उनको बताया है, तो वहाँ पर तुरंत चेक किया जाएगा कि यहाँ इसके आसपास के एरिया में कुछ पराली तो नहीं जलाई जा रही, कहीं कुछ ऐसा धुआं तो नहीं हो रहा। तो इस तरह के बहुत सारे जो एआई बेस्ड डेटा जनरेट होगा, उससे हमारे जो अथॉरिटीज़ हैं उनको समय रहते वो चीज़ें पता लग जाएंगी और वो उस पर एक्शन ले पाएंगे। ऐसे तमाम सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं। तो इस पर मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि ये सीधा असर हमारे लाइफ पे, हमारे फेफड़ों पे, हमारी ज़िंदगी पे डाल रहा है। और अगर हम बात करें जो हमारा माइक्रो प्लास्टिक है, जो प्लास्टिक का कचरा हम अपने समुद्र में फेंकते हैं, और अनुमान ये लगाया जा रहा है कि समुद्र में जितना जीवन है, जितनी मछलियां हैं, जितने पेड़ पौधे हैं, 2050 तक जो कचरा है प्लास्टिक का, उसका 4 गुना हो जाएगा। समुद्र भी खत्म हो जाएंगे। बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। ये सीधा का सीधा हमारे लाइफ, हमारे जीवन के संकट से जुड़ा है। और जो माइक्रो प्लास्टिक की बात आ रही है, जो सीधे प्लास्टिक जो है वो सूरज की गर्मी में माइक्रो प्लास्टिक में बढ़ जाता है, छोटे छोटे पार्टिकल्स में बढ़ जाते हैं, और वो मछलियां उन्हें खाती हैं, और मछलियों से और पानी से वो हमारे शरीर में आ रहा है। अभी जो रिसर्च हुई है, जिसमें साइंटिस्ट फाउंड दैट हमारे ब्रेन में, हमारे शरीर के अलग अलग पार्ट्स में माइक्रो प्लास्टिक जमा हो गए हैं, और हमारे ब्रेन में माइक्रो प्लास्टिक की संख्या, जो रिकमेंडेड संख्या है WHO की, उससे कई गुना ज़्यादा माइक्रोप्लास्टिक हमारे ब्रेन में देखे गए हैं। तो ये सारे जो चीज़ें हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे क्लाइमेट चेंज और हमारे लाइफ पैटर्न से जुड़ी हुई हैं, जो हमको दो चार करेंगी। हमें भविष्य में इसके लिए बहुत बहुत अलर्ट रहने की आवश्यकता है। अब जो आबादी समुद्र के किनारे, समुद्र तटों पे जो हमारी कोस्टल पॉपुलेशन है, उनको हमको आगाह करना है कि समुद्र जो सी लेवल है वो बढ़ रहा है, ग्लेशियर पिघल रहे हैं। अब जो सी लेवल जब बढ़ रहा है, तो क्या वहाँ की अथॉरिटीज़ प्रॉपर लोगों को अवेयर कर पा रही हैं? क्या वहाँ के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में कुछ बदलाव लाए जा रहे हैं? तो यू हैव टू ask to the authorities, you have to ask to the building experts, you have to ask to the urban planning department कि किस तरह का चेंजेस वहाँ पर वो सिटी प्लानिंग में कर रहे हैं। जब समुद्र का जल स्तर बढ़ेगा तो उस शहर में भी संकट आना तय है, और ये चेतावनी कोलकाता, मुंबई, चेन्नई और हमारे जो कोस्टल एरियाज़ हैं इंक्लूडिंग त्रिवेंद्रम एंड ऑल, वहाँ पर ये दे दी गई है। तो वहाँ किस तरह के बदलाव भविष्य में चाहिए होंगे, इस पर भी हमको रिपोर्टिंग सिलसिलेवार करनी है, ताकि हमारी अथॉरिटीज़ और हमारे लोगों के बीच में कोई कम्युनिकेशन गैप ना रहे। उसके लिए हमको हमारे रिसर्च पेपर्स, हमारे जर्नल्स, हमारी मिनिस्ट्री और हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स के संपर्क में रहना है। आप लोगों से बात करें, और ये मैसेज समय रहते हमारे मीडिया के माध्यम से, क्लाइमेट चेंज रिपोर्टिंग के माध्यम से मास मीडिया तक ये हम उसको पहुंचा सकें। ये बहुत आवश्यक है। और हमारा जो रिसर्च हो रहा है इंडिया में, आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन अबाउट द रिसर्च ऑफ बीरबल साहनी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पैलियो साइंसेज लखनऊ. व्हाट दे आर डूइंग रिसर्च ऑफ पास्ट एराज फ्रॉम द ओरिजिन ऑफ लाइफ टिल डेट, कि पिछले हजारों लाखों वर्षों में हमारा क्लाइमेट चेंज में क्या बदलाव हुए और आज वो बदलाव हमारे भविष्य के क्लाइमेट में क्या परिवर्तन करने जा रहे हैं. तो ये भी एक लगातार फिनोमेना है जो वहाँ पर रिसर्च हो रही हैं. तमाम सारी रिसर्च मौजूद हैं, तो इसको अच्छे से पढ़िए और प्रिपेयर योर क्लाइमेट चेंज रिपोर्टिंग वेल. सो आज की डिस्कशन में इतना ही. नमस्कार.